He has won titles all over the world, including the prestigious Tournament of Champions. Now he plans to tame the PBA animal patterns. Jesper Svenson is the #1 seed and looking for his 6th title at the PBA Bear Open right now. Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan, just outside Detroit, is the site of the PBA Fall Swing. Today it's the Bear Open. 5 of the world's best bowlers compete for a title and prize money. Now let's meet our finalists with our Master of Ceremonies, Dennis McCamery.
Hey, thank you, Dave. I'm Dennis McCamery, your PBA MC, and I'm very excited to be here right in Detroit, Michigan for the PBA Fall Swing Tour. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's time to introduce to you your bowlers. The #5 seed won the 2015 PBA Scorpion Championship, looking for his 2nd PBA Tour title from Charleston, Rhode Island, John Van Hees. The #4 seed was a collegiate All-American at Wichita State, making his 2nd TV appearance from North Tonawanda, New York, John Zinski. The #3 seed is the holder of the 2 PBA Tour titles from Mesa, Arizona, Josh Blanchard. The #2 seed was the 2012-13 PBA Rookie of the Year from Huntington, Indiana. Make some noise for E.J. Tacket. The #1 seed is the reigning PBA Rookie of the Year and holder of 5 PBA Tour titles from Gothenburg, Sweden, Jesper Svenson. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your PBA Fall Swing Tour bowlers as we get ready to rock this house.
Our first match features John Van Hees against John Zerbinski, who's looking for his 1st career title. The winner takes on Josh Blanchard, who won twice on tour last season. Victor then will meet E.J. Tacket of Huntington, Indiana, all looking up to the #1 seed, Jesper Svenson. Randy Lane Level, joined by the Johns, Van Hees and Zerbinski.
Thanks, Dave. I'm with the 2 Johns. I'm going to start with John Zerbinski first. John, an incredible resume, but no wins. How do you climb the ladder today to capture title #1?
You know, I've been asked that question a lot. All I got to do is just make shots, stay in the present moment, and then, you know, the pins are going to fall for me today. So I'm just going to stay confident, and I'm going to do it.
Thanks, John. Good luck.
Thanks, Randy.
Now, John, you have won. You won last year. How do you follow that up, and what is it about the Bear oil pattern that fit your eye?
Well, staying relaxed, staying in the moment, like John said. I want to make good shots. I want to come out of the gate, be aggressive, have a lot of fun. The Bear played into my wheelhouse because I like to control the pocket, and hitting the pocket was a premium on that pattern. So didn't have to strike a whole bunch. You just had to stay clean, not make mistakes. So I'm confident I'll do that today.
Thanks, John. Good luck. Jonathan Van Hees, he did a lot of hitting the pocket when he captured his 1st title last season. But the Bear Open title goes through arguably the hottest player on tour, the 2-handed, left-handed sensation from Sweden, Jesper Svenson.
Who is our top seed, Randy? Good to hear from the Johns there. Ball swing overview. The Wolf Open, Tom Doherty's 2nd career PBA title. Came here in suburban Detroit. The Bear Open. Wow, we got a challenging pattern today of 40 feet. One of 5 events, PBA Fall Swing. Van Hees, Zerbinski set to go head-to-head. Our first match from here in Allen Park. Dave Ryan and the Hall of Famer Randy Peterson with you to begin our telecast here today. Ring and 10 pin, John Van Hees.
Yeah, but a nice opening shot by John. Very confident coming off of his win at the World Series last year, where he made the lanes look easy when everybody else struggled to hit the pocket.
What a performance.
Good mark for John, the 5 seed. Now it's John Zerbinski. North Tonawanda, New York, just outside Buffalo. 6th year on the PBA Tour. 28 years old and a former star at Wichita State.
Dave, this is one of the nicest physical games you'll see. For a big guy, he's really good at controlling his upper body and very good at not muscling. And you can see just how balanced he is at the foul line. Very important for the big players to use their lower body, use their legs, and get into that nice balanced position.
Only his 2nd career TV appearance comes here today. Lost to Chris Barnes 232-202 in Tokyo. And nice start, 4-pin and the single pin spare conversion. Randy, let's check our lane conditions today.
Well, it's the 40-foot bear pattern, and it's really considered the most challenging of all the PBA animal patterns. Pretty flat 1 to 1.3 ratio. This year, though, not as difficult as it has been in the past couple of years. There's a little more shape to this pattern. The players actually averaged a little bit higher here at Thunderbolt than they did the 2 previous years on the bear. But they don't call it the bear for nothing, Dave. It's got teeth. It's got fangs.
Was that an Aussie accent or?
No, it's just me.
Just you. Just Randy. And double wood here, the 2-8 for John Zerbinski. Buffalo to Detroit. It's about 4 hours if you can go through Canada, so you got to have a good passport. That's the way you make that drive. He's got some family members here from the western New York city of Buffalo.
Very likable young man. He's always done real well in the team series, the Elias Cup series. Always gets picked on a team. Always does very well in that competition.
2-8 double wood takes care of that. 3-time ITC champ at Wichita State. First team All-American 2 years there. Team Masters champ. Really great resume leading into his time on the PBA Tour. Back to Van Hees. Early lead just underway.
Oh boy.
Good luck. That's why. 1-2-7. A light hit.
Well, in the words of Bob Euchre, just a bit outside, but no harm, no foul if he can convert the Sperry-only trail by a pin. Again, the players early on trying to get through the jitters of being back on television. It's something that you never get used to, and if you do, well, you may want to find something else to do. I mean, this is what makes our sport so much fun, is the feeling you get under the bright lights of the PBA Tour.
Rubber does take care of the mark.
Gotta hit the one in the front, brother. Gotta hit the one in the front.
Let's break his game down a bit, Randy.
Well, very nice controlled game. He prides himself on being a shot maker. Gets the ball into the swing there in that right step. A little short in the third. Creates a little upper body lean. Pretty high backswing, but obviously the great finish, the athletic finish at the bottom. Keeps his hand at the back using a mastermind brainiac. But just a pretty simple game. Doesn't do a whole lot. Medium rev player, medium power. Roll though, a lot of end over end roll.
Good looking shot. 2-0 in his career on TV.
Right.
See that hand up the back, just a slight bit of rotation at the bottom. A great lesson for the folks at home to learn. And you don't need a lot of rotation with the wrist to create hook. You need roll and a little bit of side rotation.
Back to John Zerbinski, 6-time member of Team USA, including the last 4 straight years. Looks for his first strike of the match. And has it.
And comes in light into that switch zone. I'll tell you what, if there was anything I would change with this game here, it would be to increase his rev rate by about 200. Just beautiful positions. I think his rev rate is right, kind of middle of the road, and it makes him a player a lot like John Van Hees. Imagine that same game with a rev rate of about 550. As you take a look at his arsenal, he's throwing the lock. Now that separates him from everyone else. You put him up in that Dom Barrett category, getting that rev rate way up.
Nice shot, 4-pin. Everything but fall down for him.
Make a move off of it.
Just a little bit high, 4-7-10 standing, but now just the 4-pin and an easy single pin spare attempt coming up.
Takes care of that. First ever TV appearance for John Zrbinski in the United States. Just that one TV appearance we told you about at the DHC PBA Japan Invitational in Tokyo. And he's 35 years old, 12-year pro. Was just outside of Providence in Charlestown, Rhode Island. Fourth frame. Hurry didn't enough. 2-4-10 split.
Another wide shot on that right lane. This time he's going to pay for it, leaving the 2-4-10. You can't get it that far right on this pattern. It's too flat.
Tough spare. Just misses the 10. Not by much, but it's an open frame. John Zrbinski sees that advantage go up to 13 pins.
Yeah, just catches a little too much of the 2-pin. John, a winner 2015 Scorpion Championship in Reno. Defeated Lonnie Wallachek and Jason Sterner.
202-176, and they there. Here,
give me one.
No 7-10, just the 7. Much easier.
Yeah, much better shot too. You can see that's not near as far right down lane, but almost an awful break. Rolls the 10 late. It's going to be interesting to watch how this pattern breaks down and if the lanes become a lot more scoreable. The players playing the same part of the lane, you break down, create friction, and that's what the players look for.
John Zrbinski told us yesterday, making that first ever show stateside, what a relief. Weight off, he said. He's tried so hard so long, but a breakthrough here in Allen Park. He was confident in the pre-match interview with Ray. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, nice shot there.
Great shot. Wife Christina's here. Mom Susan, Dad Leon have made the trip from Western New York.
Beautiful shot here by John. And, you know, last week, Dave, we saw Tom Doherty climb the ladder and win. Maybe it's, see if it's in the cards for John Zrbinski.
His family's here, rooting him on. Leon, Susan, and Christina.
Hook, 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 hook. Yeah!
Nice shot.
It sure did.
Doubles up. John Zrbinski looking for his first ever career title. And what a way to do it. He's taken a commanding 23-pin lead. Lots more action to come from Thunder Bowl here in Detroit.
Detroit, one great bowling city. A double for John Zurbinski. 3 of the last 4 frames he has struck. And has a lead on John Van Hees, 23 pins. There's Chuck Gardner, Brunswick Tour rep. And a moment ago, he was speaking with John Van Hees.
You want to look at going to the symmetric ball.
I'm gonna get this one. If I throw one more good, doesn't do the right thing, then I got to go to it and fall on the sword.
And talking about possible equipment change going from asymmetrical to symmetrical. By doing that, Dave, he'll create more down lane shape. Symmetrical balls cleaner, store energy longer, and come off the spot harder.
John, 6th frame here, Randy.
You can see how that's just kind of burning up a little bit, and it's a little soft into the pocket. This is a good shot. You can see right there the track that these two players have created in between 3rd and 4th arrow. But as it enters the pocket, it's a little soft. That's because of the early roll.
Pin takes care of it.
Something that stores a little bit longer might be in his future.
PBA Bear Open Thunder Bowl here in suburban Detroit. Dave, my Hall of Fame broadcast partner, Randy Peterson. Our entire crew bringing you PBA Fall Swing on CBS Sports Network this year. Seventh frame. High flush. Nice looking strike.
And a ball change. You can see the rotation there, and then a little bit more back end finish to that bowling ball.
Great experience, as John told us yesterday with Team USA. Helps him in clutch moments like these. Works on a double. 7th frame. Go by 34. 4 pin.
Just right of the middle arrow, and just comes in a little soft for John Zurbinski. Still a nice lead with a spare here. 23 pins. Van Hees now working on a strike.
His family happy to see that. John told us he's done a lot of work in Buffalo with Brad Angelo. Longtime PBA star. Jones, Russell, and Belmo have won the PBA Bear Open in the past. Who will carry that trophy in 2016? We're going to find out today.
Said his keys to winning is just to make better decisions on the lanes.
Seems simple enough. Is he doing that?
Now, I'll tell you what, he's throwing it real well, too. He's got a nice picture right now. I think the lanes are transitioning right to where he likes them to be, and it's just a matter of execution now.
Strikes in 3 of the last 4 frames for Zurbinski.
He actually bowled in Siberia once.
Told us that story.
Isn't that crazy?
That
is so awesome.
When he checked his phone in Siberia, it was actually warmer than it was in Buffalo at the time. In November. Double wood. It gets pretty cold in Buffalo from about Halloween on. I lived in Syracuse 25 years. I know a lot about that. Those winters up there. Whoa. No joke, Randy.
Hey, Dave, good for you. Right now, not so good for John Van Hees, as he's not able to shape his bowling ball to get to the pocket consistently.
does take care of that. Tuesday through Friday nights at 6 Eastern. Host Adam Shine turns enthusiasm up to 11. He gives you his take on everything happening in sports on and off the field. Dive into Adam's mind on Time to Shine. Only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. It's time for John Van Hees to shine. This is it, 9th frame. It's on a spare, down 23, and all 10 down.
Yeah, good shot there. Unfortunately, he has to finish on the right lane. Zinski, commanding lead, working on a strike now, but nice pitch here by John Van Hees. There's just a couple shots that got wide and got away from the open frame in the 4th, but honestly, he's not thrown the ball all that terrible. He's made some nice shots. I'm not sure about the shape, but I'll tell you he's got a nice shape to their ball reaction is John Zinski.
That's high.
You could hear him say, go, go, go. He got it left of target, never got it far enough to the right. And on a flat pattern, you're not going to have that shim or that hold that you would normally have, say, if you were bowling on a league shot or a league pattern. He's lucky here that he only leaves a 3-6-10. Look out.
Nice cover. Has his spare.
Lucky cover. Got it on the outside. You want to try to cover all 3 pins with the bowling ball when you shoot the 3-6-10. He got away with that.
Josh Blanchard, Phoenix Areas. Next up, 3 seed wins the winner of this, takes on the winner of this match. Josh in search of his 3rd career PBA Tour title. There's PWBA star Rocio Restrepo from Colombia. She bowled this week, trying to make the fall swing TV shows.
Yeah, nice shot there. Game over. John Zinski will move on to face
Josh Blanchard.
Josh Blanchard.
I liked how confident John Zinski was with you in that interview. Had a good look in practice, felt very sure about his game clearly, and delivers as long as he has 8 pins here for the shutout. How about 9? And there it is. Officially the win for Zinski and his family from Western New York. Very pleased because John is through to the next round to take on the 3 seed Josh Blanchard. Longtime Team USA member John Zinski from North Tonawanda, New York, advances up the ladder. Back in suburban Detroit, John Zinski has advanced with a 207-183 win over John Van Hees. That means he takes on Josh Blanchard in the next round, and Dom Barrett, the Dominator, British bowling star, 4-time tour champ, 1-time major champion, joins us, guest commentator for the rest of this broadcast. When you look at the 4 remaining bowlers, what do you see of the competition?
I think it's a great show. It's a great TV final. I think Randy was talking about it earlier, and I think that this is probably one of the only times where you don't see Jackson Belmonte on this type of show, where normally you have a lot of angle, you have a lot of rev rate. EJ really is the only guy who has that. Everyone else is a little straighter, so it's going to play a little bit differently this time, I think.
Dom, welcome to the telecast. My question for you is, how big of an advantage is it for Jesper Svenson being the only lefty on the telecast?
I think it's a huge advantage. Most of the shows he makes is like that. But I think even more importantly is the experience that these guys have got. They haven't got a lot of TV experience. Jesper won Rookie of the Year last year, and he's probably the bowler with the most experience out of everyone here, and he's only 21.
TOC winner a year ago, Jesper Svenson. So you think about Jesper as the top seed, and you know from winning titles and winning majors, big events like this, what do you do while other bowlers are competing in the step ladder? What are you doing to stay busy?
For me, I always try to get out of the way. I try to take in this atmosphere. You can hear the great crowd behind us. try to take all of that in, so it's not a shock when you come out and actually compete with it. But you just have to do your own process. You have to do your own thing. For me, I had to get out the way. Some other guys like to probably watch a bit too much. It's different for everyone.
All right, Dom, looking forward to his guest commentary in the booth here in Allen Park, Michigan, outside Detroit. Blanchard will take on Zinski when we return on CBS Sports Network. Match number 2. We're set. Blanchard, Zinski after John advanced over John Van Hees. 207-183 in the opening match from here in Allen Park. Who wins the Bear Open?
Two similar games here, Dom. Strokers, shot makers, rev rates are fairly similar. Rotation.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that was key, actually, to this week. You don't have so many bowlers with the big angle in the front. That's actually been like your Belmos. And we have EJ, obviously. But the first 3 guys all bowl pretty similar.
Push.
All right. Order the split. 4-7 for Josh, beginning his day. 28 years old, 5th-year pro from just outside Phoenix. 2 titles, one in Portland, Maine, and one in Munich, Germany.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
So that's kind of a little bit of what we just said a minute ago with the experiences on this show. We have Josh here, who's played a few shows. We know he had that accident that we'll probably talk about at some point, where he slipped on the lane a few years ago, and he hasn't been on TV too much, so a very nervous start for Josh.
He's got 3 in his career. Sorry, Randy, 3 appearances on TV.
Oh, he's got the fan going. You know, normally they break that out when they start sweating like they have malaria.
Hopefully not. So Zinski trying to get an edge, and a great start for John, who's already loose after his win over John Van Hees.
And it does get warm down there on the set with the bright lights and all the fans gathered around. And the temperature definitely goes up after an opening.
Yeah, and I guess if you think about it and think about the experience that these 3 guys have, and you can probably put EJ into that bracket in a minute as well, where if you have that game underneath you already, you're going to be at an advantage over the guy coming in.
John Zinski right now has got his feet underneath him. He's got a game under his belt, and he's got a nice look to the pocket. Advantage, John Zinski.
Second frame, can he keep it going? Yes, he can.
Dom, I don't know about you, but for me, I only see the lanes getting better as the matches progress, because I think the middle part of the lane is going to develop. The players can move in and use that for a little friction, a little bank, if you will, and as they migrate in, they'll find some fresh oil. I think they only get better.
Yeah, and I think if you think about it as an overall show where EJ comes in next, I'm very surprised that these 3 guys that started off, John Van Hees, John Zinski, and Josh Blanchard, didn't have a conversation where they would break the lane a bit further to the right. Right now they're kind of breaking it down a bit further in, and EJ is going to just absolutely love where you can see those blue lines on the lane and the track that the guys are creating. EJ is going to love that part of the lane to play.
Almost trips the 4 there, a little nudge on the 4, but opening early for Josh, now across lane at the 4 pit.
Hey, got one.
He nails that. Feel a little better. Full sarcastic self-cheer. PBA's Extra Frame is your home for exclusive live coverage of the PBA, PBA 50, and PWBA tours. Beginning Saturday, Extra Frame is streaming live from Parkside Lanes in Aurora, Illinois, where a PBA tour title is on the line. Don't miss a minute of the action. Yearly, monthly, and 3-day subscriptions are available. Click on the Extra Frame link at pba.com today for more information.
Ball change?
No, it's the same ball. I think he's just got his feet under him a little bit more. And when he was having his chat with his ball rep Mike Calderon before, they were talking about keeping it slow but making sure he doesn't hit it too much. So what he means is making sure he gets the ball to roll into the lane so the ball doesn't overreact. You can see that one was a lot better than the first frame.
We've talked about it before, trying to get the bowling balls to read early so that it shapes the pattern better. It comes off the end of the pattern more consistently instead of that skid flip type of reaction that we all looked for years ago.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things with the demanding lane conditions we have here on the PBA Tour. that everybody's vulnerable reaction.
8-pin there, Dom. That was pretty sweet. Good start here for John.
That was great. I think John's settled in now. But you have to keep your ball smooth. I think that's very key. Belmo does it better than anybody in the world, and that's why he's won the PBA Player of the Year 3 times, because he can create the angle doing it as well.
There was an old announcer way back when it used to say, hit him thin and watch him spin. I want to say it was Billy Whaleu.
Well, you were probably around back then, Randy.
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
The young guys taking some shots of the older guys. 13 titles, Hall of Fame.
After the telecast, I'll let you polish my Hall of Fame ring.
I knew that was coming. Oh! There's a hit on number 10. Down it goes. What a start for John Zerbinski here.
He's got a nice look. He's putting that good touch. Go ahead with that, Dave Ryan.
That shot certainly qualifies as our Barbazal close shave of the day, Randy and Dom.
Watch this 6-pin push that 10 off the back of the pin deck. Nice break and a nice start.
Yeah, John's got to be feeling really good right now. He's had a great start. He's had a game underneath him that, you know, he could have bowled a little bit better, I think, but he had a
high shot there from Blanchard. 4-pin stands, guys.
And he's starting to feel very comfortable now. John's going to be tough to beat, I think.
He's softer. He's using more angle.
Yeah, and I spoke to the ball reps before, and I was down there sort of doing a little bit of research. They said the right lane typically does hook a little bit more. The left lane's a little tighter. John Van Hees had it the other way around in the first game, and then it eventually caught up to him. But Zerbinski's been all over this pair of lanes right from the start.
Josh Blanchard, 4-time collegiate All-American at Wichita State. John Zerbinski, a big star. They bowled there together. Randy, as we check Josh's arsenal.
I'd like to go ahead and take this if you like. He's using the Rebel, one of the hammer balls. It's a little bit cleaner. He's not trying to play too much down lane reaction. He's just looking to actually get the ball cleaner in the front part of the lane so he can control the down lane reaction.
Josh started his career at Fresno State before transferring to Wichita State, where he won 2 titles. We have documented John Zerbinski's great collegiate career and Team USA experience. Under the bright lights, it's not easy. Going for his first title. What a start. Looks for the front 5. Can he stay perfect? Yes, he can. All 10 down, blasting that ball through the 1-3 pocket.
He's got a great look and he's executing. Normally that's a pretty good combination. You notice that's just a hair left of where he was in game 1. That was right over 20, and that's 10 in the pit.
I think we can talk about what you asked John at the beginning, where you asked him how comfortable is he and how he feels and how he hasn't really broken out on tour yet. Maybe this is the game that's going to make him do that.
He seemed confident, Dom. I love that answer. Just before you're about to compete. Front 6. No. And a challenging split ahead for John Zerbinski.
Yeah, just to keep Josh back in the match here. Josh is starting to feel a little bit better. John's probably going to have an open frame now. Very tough spare to make.
How'd you go about it, Dom? 410.
Well, you have to throw a little bit of pace in it. There are some machines that do bounce out, but you have to try and slide it over. Try and slide that 4 into the 10. You're probably going to miss it if you go for it too strongly, but you have to really.
Shoot it! Yeah!
Yes!
Yeah! Yeah!
410 conversion. High fives for the crowd. John Zerbinski is pumped up. We take a look at our top spare replay brought to you by Hammer.
Well, that's how you do it. You slide the 4 into the 10, just like Dom said he wouldn't do. welcome to my world, Dom. Talk about the kiss of death. That's what. Oh, he's a great spare shooter. Whiff.
The last time you spared that, I was probably about 3 years old.
Well done. Well done.
All right. A great start, Zerbinski. Even better, split spare conversion. Blanchard down 50 pins after John Zerbinski Got through the front 5, then an amazing split conversion. And if he wasn't feeling great with the front 5, guys, I imagine he's even more pumped up. That incredible split a moment ago. Blanchard can cut it to 40. And he's a big hole. 6 frame. 2-8.
I think that's a lane that looks a little bit tricky right now for everybody. That was the lane that the guys were telling everyone that hooked a little bit more, and now after Svenson missed, Van Hees missed, sorry, in the first game on that lane, it does look a little tricky.
Right now there's a big giant hole, and Josh Blanchard is laying in it. He's in big trouble.
Oh, Jesus.
Maybe Blanchard is here. Going for a big comeback. Not going to be easy.
God,
Wake up with a jolt as the outspoken Craig Carton and former star quarterback Boomer Esiason team up to bring you all the latest from around the world of sports. Boomer and Carton weekday mornings at 6 Eastern right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Ball change. What has he gone to, Dom?
This looks like the track cyborg, a little bit stronger, a little asymmetrical, like we heard Van Hees talking about before, symmetrical or asymmetrical. This isn't too strong, but it's enough to get that ball around the corner a little bit more, and the order is pushed down lane.
It's so hard in a one-game match. You get practice prior to, and you have to go with your instincts and what you think gives you the best opportunity, and a lot of times, and so often we see it's not the right choice.
Zinski avoids the 7-10, has the 10 pin. He's the only bowler in the 5-man field here entering our show without a title. Svenson 5 to lead the way. EJ Tacket a couple. Josh has 2. Blanchard, as Randy talked about.
Gotta get started.
All right, Randy, so
Tough comeback.
You've bowled on TV way more than I have. We established that before. What do you do now when you're this far down? You're in Josh's position. What do you do?
Well, I mean, realistically, you don't think that there's any chance to win the match, but you have to somehow make your opponent think about the fact that you're still there. So for Josh Blanchard, it's about getting up in the 8th and 9th and striking, and then giving yourself an opportunity to shoot 228, which is what he can shoot if he strikes out. John Zerbinski's in the 230s, but you have to give your opponent something to think about.
Didn't like it, that's why.
Yeah, things are going to change real quick here.
Yeah, I think the other thing is, if you get that much of a lead like John does before and the other guy's struggling, it's very easy. Not going to say you're going to let your foot off the gas, but something does potentially happen when you have that split spare. I think the commercial came at the right time for John because he went very pumped up for that 410. He had a few minutes to try and compose himself. Now he threw a good shot a minute ago and he almost 710. That would have been a bit unlucky, but this one was pretty poor.
1, 2, 6, 8, 10. Tough cover. Yeah! Does it again! 2 tough spare conversions for John Zerbinski.
Good stuff there. What a great cover. Gets a little lucky with a bounce out of the side there by the 6-pin, but nonetheless, watch this action there.
And I think if you could have seen the background, but after John did this and he kind of celebrated, he was telling himself to calm back down. I think he's already learned from the commercial break where he got a bit overexcited.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh. Still 9-pin count, 2 pin stands.
Wow, almost got back too. John Zerbinski is going to move on to face EJ Tacket. The thing that I'm looking at right now, Dom, is John Zerbinski is using asymmetrical. Asymmetrical is only good to a certain degree, to a certain angle. Once you get past that angle, asymmetrical balls stop hitting because they're burning up. At what point do you see John Zurbinski going to a different bowling ball, going to a symmetrical bowling ball?
I think that's a great point. I think this actually could have happened at the perfect time for John, because this game eventually, after how Josh bowled, is over after the front five that John had. So now he gets to go into the next game. He doesn't get any practice shots in between like EJ's going to get, but he gets to go into a fresh game knowing he has to against EJ. So why not go and change ball and try and find something?
Well, it looks like the right ball change for Josh Blanchard. Unfortunately, the errant shot in the 8th. Otherwise, he would have given Zurbinski something to think about.
Stay here. You know what time it is.
What time is it, John?
It's time to win. Time to stay locked in. Think about EJ Tacket with shots like that. That's a positive picture to have in your mind. Foundation frame strike. And John Zurbinski seeking his first ever title.
Yeah, so that was a great shot there. That match is definitely done now. He just needs four pins over the next 2 shots. So to me, this is where I change ball. This is where I go and get another one, go and figure out something for the next game. Because you're not going to get it any practice shots, like we said. You only need 4 pins.
He'll take 9, he'll take the victory. John Zurbinski has knocked off Josh Blanchard. It's official now. He'll go to the 3rd match. Awaiting EJ Tacket, the number 2 seed. John Zurbinski, North Tonawanda, New York. The Buffalo guy. Some great split conversions and a victory.
You have a vision. It's behind everything you do. Even when you least expect it, it comes through. You know what you want, and we can help make it real. You need choices? We've got all kinds, including special finishes and papers. And they're all absolutely guaranteed, because you have a vision, and we have your card. 500 start at just $9.99 when you enter BC500 at Vistaprint.com.
PBA Fall Swing on CBS Sports Network. John Zurbinski, look at this conversion. 410, pumped up, and he wins the match over Josh Blanchard, 232 to 184, advancing to take on the 2 seed EJ Tacket. Time now for the Ebonite flashback. Tommy Jones' last title on U.S. soil was the 2008 Geico Open. That all changed with his performance in last year's PBA Bear Open finals in Oklahoma City. Ever challenging conditions of the Bear were on display in the first match. Jones knocked out the number 4 seed Brand Angelo by the score of 179-161. Next up, Jason Belmonte. Jones started off with an open frame in the first, but followed it up with 3 straight strikes. Never let up, knocked off Belmo 221-210. Master of the summer swing, Bill O'Neill was next, and the back and forth match went all the way to the 10th frame. O'Neill had a chance to finish off Tommy, but failed to strike, and Jones won by 5 pins, 225-220. PBA Hall of Famer Norm Duke was the only competitor between Tommy Jones and his 16th career title. Both Duke and Jones struggled early in the championship match, failing to convert spares, but Tommy made some necessary adjustments and walked off with a PBA Bear Open title. What a feeling for Tommy Jones after that long drought on U.S. soil, as he wins over Norm Duke in the championship match to take home the 2015 PBA Bear Open. Who will win in 2016 from Allen Park, Michigan? We're going to find out. The next round, EJ Tacket, the 2 seed with 1 career title, will take on John Zurbinski, the 4 seed, looking for his first ever tour championship.
Last week, The left lane was definitely tighter than the right lane, and it looks like it's no different on this tough bear oil pattern. You take a look at the ball marks that the balls are putting down. Look at the right lane. You can see that the players are actually left of 20. The right lane, the players are on top of 20. But I promise you this, with E.J. Tackett's power, he's going to be deeper than any of the right-handers, especially John Zurbinski. Can John Zurbinski keep the momentum going? Looks like he's making a ball change on the left lane to start the match against E.J. Tacket.
Really good shot. Keep it 30.
Zurbinski gets us started. And a great beginning.
Dom, you like that ball change?
Yeah, I really do. I think that left lane was getting a little bit too snug for him. He's staying with the big ball. He's balled down to something a little bit cleaner, kind of what Josh was trying to see, but with a little bit more rev rate, a little bit more rotation off John Zurbinski's hand, creating a little bit more angle down lane.
Here's E.J. Tacket, 24 years old from Huntington, Indiana. Fourth-year pro. Gets, wow, 10 down.
Yeah, I really like EJ right now. I think he's been on TV and he hasn't had the best run of it. And but the guys he had to bowl on TV before didn't exactly help the transition that EJ likes to have in front of him. By what I mean by that is the bowlers and what Randy explained about the track lines that you can see. Now normally he's always bowling on the same show as Belmo. Belmo can hook the ball more than EJ. Here EJ hooks the ball the most out of anybody on the show.
EJ 1-6, Dom, career on TV. To your point, 191.57 average. 6 shows. 0-3 in title matches on TV. Changes. Confident look and a great start.
I was speaking with the bull reps before I went down and saw everybody, and Brett Spangler, the motor bull rep, was actually saying before when he's made TV shows he's had to use high RG bowling balls. That means bowling balls that are very uncontrollable, very snappy, but because of the nature of what we're bowling on today, the higher friction surface as well that we're bowling on, he can use a low RG ball, something that's a lot more controllable and something that's going to help EJ with his nerves and with his ball reaction for today's telecast.
Interesting. Let's keep an eye on all that. Frame avoids that disastrous 7-10. Just a 7-pin now for John. 28 years old, trying for his first ever title. Home Center Transit Lanes in Williamsville outside Buffalo.
So John's staying with the same ball in the right lane, almost 7-10 again.
Yeah, I mean, at what point do you say it's too much angle for an asymmetrical ball? Take a look and see how E.J. Tackett's playing the right lane. That is about 24 at the arrows. Zurbinski, about 21 at the arrows.
Yeah, probably where they're sliding isn't that dissimilar, but John's getting it back from a lot further to the right, and maybe it's a little bit behind the head pin, where EJ's getting a lot more mid-lane roll.
Come on.
You know, Dom, to me, that's the difference in rev rate. That's what I talked about at the start of the telecast. John Zurbinski's got such a great game, but he doesn't overwhelm you. When you watch E.J. Tacket overwhelms everybody because of his frame and how much power he's creating. And oh, by the way, throwing a 16-pound bowling ball. He's got that wow factor. If John Zurbinski could increase his rev rate by 100, he would be unbelievable.
Yeah, he would. It's just a little bit too refined to have a high rev rate, I think. Well, I'm really kind of, I wouldn't say disappointed. I think they've missed an opportunity. The 3 guys that were on the show that we've seen at the start of the show, Van Hees, Blanchard, and John Zurbinski, they have low rev rates. They could have got together and said, hey, one of us is going to be playing EJ and hopefully on to play Jesper. So why don't we start off a little bit further right, get away from EJ, and then go into our A game around second arrow instead of, by this point, they'd be at third arrow in 3 games later, instead of being left of 20 into EJ's hands, really, into his
wheelhouse.
Exactly. I think that's just a little bit of inexperience that we saw on the show when we were talking about Jesper being probably the most experienced. And I think if you would have saw Chris Barnes on the show, Bill O'Neill, they probably would have had that conversation and said, hey, one of us is going to get there. Let's give ourselves the best opportunity, where I don't think these guys have really done that at the moment.
EJ's arsenal.
So he's using his strongest ball in his bag, the Jackal LE. And as Brett Spangler was telling me before, it's low RG, picks up early, and is pretty smooth for a strong bowling ball, I believe.
Hey, all 10 down.
Brett Spangler being the Motive Tour rep. RG refers to radius of gyration. EJ Tacket 1-6 with a 191 average in 6 appearances on television, trying to change that. Former Harry Golden Rookie of the Year. Now it's time for John Zurbinski to get back in this match, and quite honestly here with a double in the 4th and 5th frame, he can take the lead by 1.
Yeah, it's just about getting back and striking. It's looking a little bit laboured though. But yeah, John likes that right lane a little bit more. He needs to find a way to strike on the left lane.
Josh Blanchard in our previous match, former Rookie of the Year. Jesper Svenson, our tournament leader. Reigning Rookie of the Year. There you go.
EJ 2012, 2013. Pretty cool. 3 of the 5 guys. Wow. Top 3 seeds. Our Bear Open here today in Allen Park. Close match. Zurbinski to go up 19 pins. High, and the 10-pin stands.
So if you notice, he went back to the strong ball, the lock on the left lane. So the high road that he was using was going a little bit too long, a little bit too much oil down lane. So he's gone back to the ball he was using in previous games. But it came off a little bit harder than he thought.
Down 9, not up 9 there. Shot, there's a 10-pin. And it's spare in the 5th frame. EJ Tackett's got the 9-pin lead, works in a strike. 5th frame for EJ.
Dom, real quick, how much of what EJ Tacket is doing is influencing John Zurbinski's decision making?
Yeah, I think it's a lot, and I think the fact that you can see on the lane where everybody's played, it's actually making him go further left than he probably needs to be.
All 10 down for EJ Tackett. As we told you, 1-6 in his career on TV, 0-3 in title matches. What about those struggles, EJ? How do you deal with that?
You know, I've only been on tour for 4 years. I know I'm still young, but it's also been 3 years since I made my first show, and I feel like I've gotten better on TV since then. So, you know, for me, it's been a slow progress, but I think eventually I'll get there to where I'm able to at least perform well on TV. You know, I'm not going to win every match, I understand that, but at least go on TV and perform well.
There's 10-pin. Trying to change the trend, guys. Not easy when you've had a career of struggles on television.
Again, he's young. I wouldn't call it a career yet of struggles on TV. You know, if you look back at the great Hall of Famer Amleto Monticelli, he didn't win forever and then went on to win 19 times in a Hall of Fame career. I think the interesting thing, though, in talking with EJ is that he said he loves U.S. Open type oil patterns.
Watch it. Oh, missed that
Good job, EJ. Second one you missed all week. Good job.
That changes things dramatically here. Halfway point, Bear Open. 2-seed EJ Tackett with an open frame. John Zurbinski looks to take advantage when we return. There's your score. Zurbinski, Tackett head-to-head here at the Bear Open. Time now for the Columbia 300 Fun Fact. Let's go back to our Master Ceremonies, Dennis McHenry.
That's right. It's time for our Columbia 300 Fun Fact. What is your name?
My name's Jackie Bowling.
And where are you from?
I'm from Detroit.
All right, so we're going to ask you a question. If you get it right, you will win a prize. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Who is the youngest player on today's telecast? Is it A, Jesper Svenson, B, EJ Tacket, C, Josh Blanchard, D, John Zurbinski, or E, John Van Hees? What do you think?
I think that's an easy one. I'm going to go with A, Jesper.
That is correct. Let's give her some, let's make some noise for her, ladies and gentlemen. So you're going to take home an autographed bowling pin courtesy of PBA. Congratulations.
All right, back to the match, okay?
Just saying. It's good to see Jackie back. She's in a bad car accident a couple weeks ago, and good to see her feeling better.
Absolutely.
Now, John Zurbinski, double to take the lead.
How about it, John? Messenger just misses that 10-pin.
Dom, too much angle for that bowling ball?
The right ball.
Or too much angle in general?
I think he feels like he needs the angle. Now, I'm not sure what sort of bowling balls he could change to make it start earlier and continue harder. It's probably the hardest combination to do. That's what EJ does so well.
What would you do?
I think he probably just needs to back right a little bit so he can get the ball to face up a little bit earlier, face up a little bit stronger into the pocket. But because you can visually see where everybody's bowled, you kind of feel like you have to be left of that, so his angles are that steep in the front. And that's what's causing that lazy ball reaction.
There's Don Barrett, four-time PBA Tour titleist, major champion with Randy Peterson, Hall of Fame commentator, and I'm Dave Ryan in the booth here, Allen Park, Michigan. Great to have you with us. Dom, our guest commentator for this show. Seventh frame, works on a spare. Good looking shot. All 10 down, 60 feet to success for
Yes! I was waiting for that for 2 weeks now. Now, to me, Dom, this shot here looks like he gets more on it at the bottom and makes that ball true up.
Well, you should have been a two-hander. All you want to do is add rev rate. There's other tricks in the bag if you're one-handed. I don't know if he hit it harder, what he did, if he threw it harder and squared up. It's kind of hard to say without.
Meeting of the minds. Tour reps trying to help him out. EJ. Wow. All 10 down.
Finish your thought.
But I think really just getting the ball to roll. However he has to do it, everybody has their own tricks. But he's definitely need to try to get the ball to roll harder into the pocket to strike, and he managed to do that the last time.
This guy can do it. What is he, all of about $120? Look at that position. And just explodes on it at the bottom of the swing. That out to in swing.
I think what gets missed with VJ is how clean his release is. He has all that power with no grab. He gets out of it so clean, into the lane, very, very nice. And then he just has all that power that comes off the middle lane into the back end of the pattern.
Not that time.
Yeah, he's really put himself in a bad spot with the whiff on the 10-pin in the sixth. Even though he still has a small lead, he whiffs that spare and then gets this one wide of target, comes in light, leaving the 2-4-8. The left lane tighter than the right lane. You can see it, how the players are playing them right at the arrows. You can see the lines on the lanes, and that's not the lane you want to get it far right on. That needs to hook.
It does nicely. EJ turning the average at 222.33 heading in as our 2 seed. We got a great finish possibly coming up here, guys.
And I think that if you have a look at how we're talking about the game that's progressed and how that EJ can strike whenever he wants to, it feels like, because he has that power, and with John struggling to carry, John's about to have an opportunity to have 4 strikes in the game and 4 9 spares and actually be in the lead. EJ's had an 8 count, a 7 count, and a 9 miss, and 2 doubles. John hasn't had any of that.
Ball change. Oh! Well, he went back to the ball that he tried on the left lane, it looks like, and carries a double, carries that nice wally there. But right now, there's nothing EJ Tacket can do about this game. John Zurbinski can strike out and shut out EJ Tacket. EJ can only strike out for 225. Zurbinski can shoot 238.
Looks on a double, 4 strikes in the match now for John Zurbinski.
Interesting, the big ball on the left lane, the symmetrical ball on the right lane. Remember, early on, it was the exact opposite.
And if we think about what we've heard about this pair with the left lane being tighter, this makes more sense now.
Without question. That's why I really wondered, why do you go to the weaker ball in the tighter lane?
Comes in high, avoided that split, but it is the 4-7.
Well, Dom, just a pinch up the lane and went through the face, but a nice break. Zinski with a spare will have a 1-pin lead. Just doesn't feed it far enough to the right.
Yeah, we are bowling on the near enough flat condition. It's now 1.3 to 1, but it's still no forgiveness on this condition whatsoever.
Oh,
Look
John.
out.
Oh, you missed it. The 4 stands. Wow.
Well, there's a gift for E.J. Tacket. Christmas coming early.
Yeah, he got that big double. He celebrated in between frames. You watch someone like Norm Duke, who's been on TV and one of the best match play bowlers that we have on tour. He always tells everyone to, well, he doesn't tell everyone, he tells himself to calm down, stay in that moment. John didn't quite do that then.
Start looking ahead.
E.J. Tacket sees the opening. And the foundation frame takes advantage.
Great shot from E.J.
You get ahead of yourself and bad things happen, and that's what happened in the 9th frame for Zinski.
So now we're in a position where E.J. just needs to fill 20 pins to win. He gets a strike and it's a double, and he just needs count, or he goes spare strike to win.
Late opens. How many times he made that spare? Thousands in his career. What he needs now, EJ, to shut, but that comes in high. Hang on a second.
Didn't hook last
and
time.
A 6-pin count.
That's perfect.
See, I think EJ's done the wrong thing there. He didn't let go of that one anywhere near as clean, and yet he's blaming the lane. I think if he ever watches the show back and he sees what went wrong or what he could have done better, he needs to see that that wasn't the lane, that was all him. But he has to make this spare and strike, and he can win.
Using a plastic spare ball, throwing it straight. I mean, this is just
incredible.
A bad demonstration of spare shooting. I mean,
returning the favor, guys.
I think that's all the struggles that EJ's had just come out all in one frame there. A great 9th frame and a shocking 10th.
He looked down as soon as he released it. He knew he was going to miss that 6-pin. Oh.
So now we've got the two guys who haven't really got that much experience. Now John is in a position where he needs to fill 20 pins in the frame to win. Spare strike or strike spare.
Just changed balls last time on this lane and went light.
That's what John needs.
Look.
Oh, that's
out.
Hits.
Unbelievable.
2-8-10.
It's way too fast.
Kind of feel a little bit for John because I don't think that shot is as bad as he thinks it is. It's just, you know, he changed ball in the 8th frame, had to throw it again in the 10th. It's a very tough thing to go up and do. And unfortunately for him, he's left the dreaded 2-8-10. Spare ball, Randy?
Gotta have this, guys.
Got to throw it hard and straight at the 2-8 and hope to bounce one out.
Needs a spare or
Shoot
lose it. 8 stands.
Good try.
And E.J. Tacket on the bench after his whipped 6-pin, wins by 10 in a wild finish at the Bear Open here in Allen Park. The bottom line, the 2-seed E.J. Tacket survives. Jesper Svenson, the #1 seed, is next. Finish, some missed spares, and E.J. Tacket survives by 10 pins over John Zinski. E.J. going for a championship today is going to face Jesper Svenson of Gothenburg, Sweden, the #1 seed. 21 years old, youngest ever to win the TOC. That was at age 20, and he told us about that experience and the memories of winning the Tournament of Champions.
I couldn't really believe it when it actually happened. I mean, that was my first TOC as well, so I just tried to go there and get some good experience and stuff, and then a couple of days later I was standing there with the trophy, so that was just unbelievable. And yeah, I'm first major and the youngest ever to win the tournament. That was just unbelievable. It was great.
And he'd like to get another title here in suburban Detroit today. Who stands in his way? The 2-seed, E.J. Tacket. It's the championship match, and it's coming your way next on CBS Sports Network.
When you love something, you want it to be around for future generations.
Johnson needs it.
USBC works to ensure a future for the sport of bowling at all levels for people of all ages. The USBC and you, a future for the sport.
America, all through October, the DQ $5 lunch is now available all day long. Entree, fries, and a drink, plus a world-famous DQ sundae. So buy a DQ $5 lunch and have lunch's best deal all day long. Let $5 freedom ring.
They're here. The latest game changers from Polaris. Ranger XP1000, the most powerful Ranger ever. General 4, the off-road's most popular new crossover. And Ride Command, groundbreaking technology to connect you, your machine, and your friends like never before. See the best of 2017. Or grab a great deal on remaining 2016s. Get rebates up to $2,000 during the Polaris factory authorized clearance.
So how did we get to the point of this TV broadcast? Let's take a look at our Grand Casino Road to the Championship, Randy.
Number 1. Zinski taking on John Van Hees. He catches a double in the middle of that match, and he takes John Van Hees down 207 to 183. Match number 2, John Zinski would face Josh Blanchard, and after a final quarter, he would leave the pocket 410. But he doesn't go away quietly. Instead, he slides the 4 into the 10, converting, staying clean. He would go on to take out Josh Blanchard 232 to 184. And then in the match you just saw, it was, well, it got ugly towards the end. EJ Tacket has a chance to shut out John. He goes 3-6, 9-10, he misses it. Zinski goes 2-8-10, he misses it. EJ Tacket wins sitting on the bench. And the moral of the story, folks, is don't poke the bear.
2016 PBA Bear Open. And we are ready for the championship match. It's Montgomery, our master of ceremonies this year at the Fall Swing. Getting everybody pumped up here at Thunderbolt Lanes outside Detroit. Dave Ryan, Don Barrett, guest commentator, PBA star, Hall of Fame partner Randy Peterson, entire crew here, ready for the championship match. So, guys, I'm curious about EJ kind of winning in a strange fashion there with all the misses. What's the mental approach like now?
Well, I think EJ can actually put that one kind of in the books where it allows him to go into this match with not quite as much pressure on his shoulders. He didn't really do much to win, but John allowed him to go through, and it got ugly at the end, but it wasn't really because the condition got too hard. It was more rookie errors, if you like. So he's in a great position now to bowl a good game, and he's bowling arguably the hottest guy on tour, Jesper Svenson.
He just got the biggest gift of his life. If he doesn't feel like right now that this tournament is his, then there's something wrong. He just made a ball change, it worked. I mean, he's got to be the loosest guy in the building.
Well, apart from maybe Jesper in 21, 5 titles, the youngest of 5 titles. He's on such a great 18 months. It doesn't feel like anything can go wrong for him, I don't think. We'll see how this show goes.
Throwing 15 pounds, the unique lefty two-hand, and some good carry. All 10 down, a great start for Jesper, the top seed.
When Jesper has his trick, he's unbeatable, and I think everyone on tour will agree with me. And his trick is being able to throw urethane. He rarely throws reactive resin. He throws urethane. He has, how many urethane bowling balls do you think he carries with him at one time? Did you room with him this week?
Yeah, and now that part of the Weber Cup team, become quite good friends with Martin Larson and Stu Williams and Oscar Palermo, and yeah, I get to know Jesper pretty well. I was actually telling him this week he shouldn't ever try and throw reactive. He should just do that with urethane.
Throwing a pitch black, the weakest non-aggressive bowling ball in his arsenal, and it's a great start for Jesper.
Going into one of the last rounds that got him to lead this TV show, he came out with a few reactive balls, and I said, just keep throwing the urethane. You're not going to lead or win with reactive. It's not a slight against Jesper. He's so good with urethane. He can do something that no one else can do.
That was close.
Oh, I didn't like that from the beginning.
Paid for
4-6.
Sorry, Dave. Yep. Through the schnoz, leaves the 4-6.
So, right now with EJ, he didn't get any shots in the break. That was his first shot on that lane. You really have to throw that first shot good so you can get a good read and you can come back on. You're going to finish on that lane as well, remember. So he really needs to throw every shot good. I mean, that's obviously something you have to do in every sport is do your best. But for bowling, you have to throw that first shot so good to get a good read. Otherwise, now his first shot on that lane is going to be the 4th frame.
Great point. Getting off that good start, so important. Boy, Jesper's got a good look, clearly. 3rd frame, EJ's got to make up some ground. And 7-10.
Okay, so anyway, that extra life that he got from the last game is apparently carried over into this game. That ball got back from Windsor. Still to leave the pocket 7-10.
And still, Jess Stayrook, 1991, Tucson, last to make the 7-10 split on TV. Only been done 3 times in tour history.
Tom, explain the difference between urethane and reactive resin.
So you go back to when Randy, you were bowling out on tour.
Ouch.
Oh boy. So urethane really comes back from the late 80s where, I mean, the reactive bowling balls we use today are still based around this urethane, but it's such a more aggressive cover stock. So this cover stock picks up early and is very smooth. Bad shot from Jesper. And a reactive really picks up in a similar spot. It depends how much grit you put on the top of that surface, but it comes off, it's so much harder with reactive bowling balls do. Urethane's a lot smoother.
Jesper does have that unique approach. He's unique in every way, really. Doesn't cover this time, 7 stands. It's time for track tech talk. Randy, speaking of which, on Jesper, what do you think?
It's a completely unique approach. I want you to watch what happens in between his 3rd and 4th step. Both feet literally come off the ground, and instead of tight roping the approach, his feet are spread apart going into the foul line. Here you get a great angle from behind. 3rd step goes to the right. 4th step goes to the left. Keeps his hips squared, helps him to go up the lane. It's and guess what? It's very efficient. Question is longevity. How long will he be able to do that? It looks like there's a tremendous amount of torque and pressure on his body.
I think the same thing could almost be said for EJ.
Without question. I mean, I couldn't agree more.
Certainly becoming a younger guy's game more and more.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately for you.
He does throw it hard, doesn't he? Torque involved there, and there's the 4-pin standing as Dom and Randy continue to have fun about
I'm still laughing.
Randy's career.
Yeah, fun at the expense of others.
There you go.
The book by Dom Barrett. All right.
So that's that shot we were talking about a minute ago where he actually threw it good and it came high. Now he knows that ball was going to hook on that lane no matter what. Whereas that first shot he could have left a few frames ago, tacked him into that double, 3 in a row, and it could have continued.
There's a 4-pin for EJ, also an excellent golfer. PGA Junior Amateur in Indiana, Player of the Year, 16-year-old in the state of Indiana in golf, and the Rookie of the Year on the PBA Tour, so a dual sports star. Plays at a +1, so on the golf course, Randy's a very good golfer. I'm not sure about your golf game, Dom.
I can't play seniors in golf yet, so I'm just going to stick to bowling. I'm not very good golfer.
I mean, EJ's a professional.
EJ's very good. I've played with him before, but he's just one of those athletes where he's just really good at what he does. I mean, I think that most of the players out here will agree that he does things to a bowling ball that impresses a lot of people. The thing that's not impressing me, though, is I feel that this is EJ's best chance at winning based on the angle, the way the oil pattern's broken down, and he's not getting it done through 5 frames.
Responds, all 10 down.
We'll tell you something about Jesper. For a 21-year-old, he is not scared. He just gets up there and he's more than happy to keep striking and striking. I was very surprised he missed the head pin a little while ago. He knows where his misses should be. And if you give him any opportunity, he has no problem taking it.
Both of these players are very entertaining, very fun to watch. If you're a fan of professional bowling, you wouldn't mind all title matches involving players like this. The two-handed style, the power player in E.J. Tacket, just fun to watch.
15 Rookie of the Year. He's the 6'10".
So I know talking to the ball reps that the right-hand lane hooked a little bit more for Jesper as well. So he tried to practice a little bit more in the left lane to try to break it down a little bit so they could actually be fairly close, the 2 lanes together, instead of the left lane being so tight.
Like many two-handers, that's how he started bowling in Sweden at age 2. He was too little to get up there with one hand. There is an open frame. Look out, 6-pin up. So we went with a two-handed style, continue that, and now one of the best bowlers in the world. He's not going to change now, that's for sure. But E.J. Tacket right in the match on the open frame. More coming up from Detroit. Tacket, Svenson. Championship match. E.J. down by 14 pins, but an open frame for Jesper in the 6th. Has opened the door for E.J. Tacket. Looking for his 3rd career PBA Tour title. Out of the break. That's how you do it, Dom.
Yeah, really nice shot there, Dom. Better shot, better execution, better touch.
Yeah, I think this has really been that show of sort of missed opportunities to really put pressure on your opponent. This has let EJ settle down as much as he possibly can in that little commercial break we had, and he can take those few deep breaths. You can see on his face those negative thoughts aren't quite there as much anymore, and he threw that one really good.
For the lead. Yes. Let's go. Come on. E.J. Tacket. Up now by 6 pins with a double.
Way to rebound for E.J. Tacket after the 7-10 split in the 3rd. This is just a beautiful shot. Working on a double, and that to take the lead for the first time in this match.
Let's go. Come on.
This might be the first time on TV that EJ's realized that he can win.
Seven pin here for Jesper.
Little soft 7. This is the first time, though, for Jesper Svenson. First time as the #1 seed in the stepladder finals. Uncharted waters. It's not the first time he's ever bowled for a title, but it's the first time as the #1 seed.
Hey!
So we have a little joke with Jesper because his hand comes around it. He always has that strong release, and his spare always hooks a couple of boards. So he's quite happy he made that one.
Get a workout just wiping the oil off the bowling ball.
Yeah, the urethane cover stock is a lot harder than a reactive cover stock, so it doesn't accept the oil. Okay, watching Jesper here, there's a little story as to why he's so far away from the foul line. About 3 years ago in Europe, he needed to count in a fill shot to win, and a good shot there. And unfortunately, he went over the foul line, so he didn't win the title because he fouled. And we keep joking with him, he's so far away now, but he says, hey, I'm never going to foul again.
He won't be that far away, Dom. There's no question. That is a good distance to the foul line. Tacket has the turkey, now the 4-bagger. That's the attempt in the 8th frame. Go up by 16 pins. They're the max scores. EJ. That's got one across the deck, but could not reach the 10.
This was a good shot, though. Didn't get the strike, but this was a good shot. This was good execution. The ball just comes in a little late.
Yep, definitely. So much on this show and in EJ's pass on TV, that's when the errant shot happens and he doesn't hit the pocket. So he has to make sure he does that first. He threw it good. Now tidy up your spare and have another go.
He's making sure. We've had some open frames here, especially at the end of his match with John Zerbinski. That was a wild finish out of the 9th. Championship match. Stats leading up to this big moment for EJ Tacket.
Okay, I like the fact that he's blowing out there. He's having that deep breath, recomposing himself. Looks in a lot better place than we've seen before.
Oh, 10 down, big shot.
Max score now for EJ Tacket, 216. Max score for Jesper Svenson, 221.
It really is anyone's game right now with the scores. Nobody has really taken a big score and run with it, but it's very close. See if Jesper can get a double.
Yes, he can.
You kind of see Jesper's fighting the oil down lane. His ball's not really coming out to the pocket that hard and destroying the pins that we're used to seeing, but they're getting there. He's getting the power, it's coming back. They're falling over.
That's what he needs. 2 strikes and 6. A lot of work to do, though.
A couple of shots ago in this lane, the ball hooked early. He made the move, he struck, it went light again, though. Let's see what he does this time.
Six pin.
EJ Tacket. More life. Got a gift in the last match with John Zerbinski, and now he just got some more life here from Jesper Svenson. Max score now for Jesper, 200.
Yep, so Jesper needs to make this, get 7 to force EJ to strike in his first shot.
How much different would this be if Jesper converted the 6-10 in the 6th?
Yeah, I mean, it's been like that all day, really. You could say the same thing about EJ. Missed that 10 pin, and yeah, it's been a bit like that. So this kind of final was always going to be that way, I think. But I like what Jesper's doing here, taking his time, making sure he goes up and throws a good shot. And just making EJ think about it a bit more, too.
Yeah, this re-rack is to definitely help EJ sit a little bit longer than normal.
He has another one. Should we take both?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it before. $199.
Okay.
There's the 7 pin. There's his final score. So $199 for Jesper, the top seed. And up steps EJ Tacket with a chance.
Got a strike on this ball.
That's what you want as a bowler. When you're in this position, you're in the 10th frame to win a title, you want a chance. You want, you know, the other guy doesn't strike out to shut you out. You've got a chance. You have to say that to yourself, too. He's not going to strike out. I'm going to get a chance. So he should have been thinking about this for the last few minutes. Now's his opportunity.
Needs a strike here. Good, it is good. It's a strike for EJ Tacket to get closer to a championship.
Yeah, great shot from EJ. And I think there's a few people out there saying it's about time. He's bowled absolutely great for a number of years now and struggled on TV, and he's bowled a really good game, throwing good shots when he needed to.
Well, let's put it this way. I don't think anybody's surprised.
E.J. Tacket has wrapped up the title. As long as he gets a few pins down here. Which he'll do. And he will. Take home the 2016 PBA Bear Open. E.J. Tacket is a winner.
He's gone through those hard times on TV. He got the gift from John Chabinski, and he made the most of it. Well deserved.
Yes, absolutely.
Finally got it, guys. Finally got that win on TV. Woo! This is so great. Wow. I have no clue to say right now.
E.J. Tacket, 2 titles coming in, but none on TV. And now, as he just told us, he has won the PBA Bear Open on television today. Here in Detroit, E.J. Tacket from Huntington, Indiana, only 24 years old, has won his 3rd career PBA Tour title, but first ever on TV. How excited is E.J.? 212, 199. On the 2nd seed, knocks off the top seed. A couple of former rookies of the year in Jesper Svenson. E.J., the champ, joined by Randy Lane-Level.
Thanks, Dave. Congratulations, E.J. Title number 3, but first time on television. Describe the feeling.
It's absolutely amazing. I'm at a loss for words right now. Just to finally get that win on TV and to perform when I needed it, it just feels amazing.
I mean, it got ugly there for a while, but come crunch time, you really stepped up and proved to be a great champion. But what was going on that led up to that dramatic 10th frame?
You know, I was fighting ball reaction a little bit there, and I switched balls in between games there, and the one I switched to, the Sigma Sting, looked really good. You know, the last half of the game, I felt like I threw the ball really well. I left that swisher 10 there in the middle, but I just got up there and I did it.
I know Mom and Dad couldn't be here, but I know they're watching. What would you like to say to them?
Oh, I want to thank Mom and Dad. You know, my dad has been my coach my whole life, and they're the biggest support system I could ever dream of having. So, Mom and Dad, I love you guys. This one's for you.
Congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
What a moment for E.J. Tacket. Wins the 2016 PBA Bear Open. She'll be with us next week for the PBA Badger Open at 9 o'clock Eastern. And beginning on Friday, log on to PBA's Extra Frame video subscription service to check out the preview show for next week's PGA Badger Open. Congratulations to E.J. Tacket, the number 2 seed, has his 3rd career PBA Tour title as he wins the 2016 PBA Bear Open. For my broadcast partner, Randy Peterson, our guest analyst, Dom Barrett, it's Dave Ryan saying so long from Thunderbolt Lanes, just outside Detroit. For scores, highlights, features, and more, go to CBSSports.com. It's been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. It was dramatic. E.J. Tacket